ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
No. My place, little bro chair, my show.
Fair.
Anyway.
Fair.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Boro Tailgate Talks. Today is the much-awaited March Madness special. Obviously, accompanied by Landon and Bryce. Bryce being the newest addition to the Tailgate Talks squad, and Landon definitely being a great guest on the show as well. So,
Right.
Listen, it's not official yet. The team could grow. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Could be something in the immediate future, maybe even. But today we are doing the March Madness Bracket Challenge. We have all constructed our brackets, and hopefully I don't have to take a chop on Instagram.
Nah.
So.
I mean, the chances of us tying.
I mean, yeah.
These two are gonna.
It don't matter. You guys both take it.
Right.
Yeah.
We know we're gonna be bottom two, but it's just like which one of us is like bottom.
Yeah.
So like
probably me somehow.
Probably the Pitt fan.
Probably
0 and 2.
You know, Pitt fan. Pitt's in the tournament, and UNC and Michigan are not.
Hey,
So
nobody cares about the big tournament. We're doing the March Madness special on the NIT, baby. Screw March Madness. Nobody likes it anyway. It's stupid.
Exactly. Seating is horrible.
But speaking of Bryce, is it getting a little hot in here?
A little bit. Why?
Oh no, if it's getting a little hot in here, I mean,
Yeah,
you should take your sweatshirt off. Maybe.
I mean, I could take off my sweatshirt. You know, that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah,
So I don't want to get too hot in the show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Actually, sit by the camera real quick. See this? Look at my shirt, Alex. It's a Michigan shirt. It's a pretty nice shirt. I'd say so myself.
Oh my god!
Can the camera see my shirt? Hold on.
Right here.
I'm so sorry.
Look at this.
Oh my
says,
goodness!
In case you're wondering, it says, Alex, what does it say?
It's a picture of the Forbidden State, Ohio, and it's a football player holding a flag that says 45-23.
What does that score represent, Alex?
That score happens to represent the Ohio State-Michigan game that Michigan may or may not have won.
Yes, that is indeed what it says. Shout out to my girlfriend for buying me the shirt, actually.
Okay, all actuality, I hate Michigan, but that's cool.
She said, I got a shirt for you for your Christmas. I don't know if you'll like it or not. I'm like, yeah, I probably won't. I'll probably wear it. Why would I not?
Yeah.
It was this, and I was like, oh, I know, I'm going to wear this.
Last week, when we filmed the show,
It isn't getting cold in here.
he didn't want to give it away. But honestly, when he said rivalry, I thought you were gonna guess it.
I figured you guessed it.
Oh yeah, no, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
I totally missed that.
Yeah. But
No, but I'm done being embarrassed for the day.
Oh yeah.
Take a drink.
Join the club, pal.
I'm just gonna get a Noah Ruggles t-shirt. Just a picture of his face, just right on my chest.
God,
That'd be great.
All right.
Dropped, but it was wide left.
So, where do you guys want to start?
Let's start. Alabama, whoever they play, don't matter. Bama.
Yeah. So I guess. Oh wait. So you want to go through each game and just go Bama, or do you want to everybody goes through their bracket? By the way, we have no plan. We just hit record.
We had zero plan for this whatsoever.
We're freestyling.
Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Bama's beating whoever the heck they play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're from
I was gonna say,
Corpus
let's all
Christi. A&M don't matter.
Yeah. So is that how you want it?
First of all, I feel bad for you because you're from a small Texas town, which isn't even possible. But
Yeah, you just want to go. We'll just go whatever we go, and then we'll just keep going down.
well, I mean,
Like each
what-
game
dude-
and then all of our... Or are we doing each bracket?
I think we should do each bracket because not all of us are going to have the same teams.
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
that's true.
So yeah.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
So I guess
Once we get to the Sweet 16, we'll save the Sweet 16 that we got. You think?
you know what? Just go through the brackets. That's fine. That's fine.
You want me to start with mine? We'll just
Yeah, just
individually
go.
talk about it.
Yeah, because since I'm a little bro, I go last. You know?
All right. Yeah. Starting with Bama. Self-explanatory. West Virginia, Maryland. Big Big Ten fan. Fade them in March. Give me West Virginia. First upset of the tournament. Charleston, San Diego State. That score might not go over 100. I'm dead serious. San Diego State's the better defense.
Right.
Virginia and Furman. A lot of people out there picking Furman. I don't see it. I mean, they have a top offense, but Virginia has a top defense, so that always doesn't go over well. Give me the higher seed for more experience. Creighton, NC State. Creighton's actually my super dog this year. They're going to the Final Four, in case you're wondering. Baylor beats UCSB. Self-explanatory. Utah State over Missouri. Why? Because I said so. Arizona, Princeton. Don't care. Give me Zona. Do you want me to do just the South, and then everybody else can do their South, and then we can go to the North, do the North, do the West, do the West?
Sure.
Would that be easier? I'll just go to the Final Four, because that'll be my last team from the South, North, East, and then we can talk the Final Four. How we think? You like that?
So you'll just go down to.
I'll just go down to the last 4 teams, like the last team in the bracket that I have coming out alive.
Okay.
And then we can just do Final Four, talk about that. It'd be the easiest way.
I mean, yeah.
If it's different, then we can say why we think this, because it's gonna be different.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, other than like probably Kansas or Houston.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I'm confused, but I'll work through it.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I'll show you. I got you. So then, next round, round 32, Alabama, too tough. Brandon Miller might be getting arrested, but he's too tough. San Diego State over Virginia. There's another game that's probably not going to go over 100. But give me San Diego State. I think Virginia's fraudulent. Creighton and Baylor, next up. I told you. Creighton's legit. They're a little bit underseeded. Give me Creighton. And then Utah State, Zona. Sorry, Utah State. Your little Cinderella runs over. Zona's just a better team than you. Everybody knows it. Sweet 16 for the South. 4 teams left that I got here is Bama and San Diego State.
Oh, I think
This might, in my opinion, this might be the game where Bama blows it, but I don't think so. So I'm taking Bama. Creighton, Arizona. It's gonna be a dogfight for sure. I don't even know. I went back and forth this game. I went Creighton over Zona. Tough pick in my opinion, but I went Creighton. And then my Elite 8. Well, sorry, not Elite 8. My last 2 teams in here. One goes to the Final Four of the South. The winner of the South. Give me Creighton.
Wow.
Okay.
I think Creighton's tough this year.
Okay.
All right.
Me?
Yep.
All right. First round's probably going to be the same as everybody's. I'm taking Bama, obviously. I'm really going to enjoy this Maryland and West Virginia game.
That's for sure.
But I'm taking West Virginia. A lot of people like the upsets for these 12-5 seeds this year, but I like San Diego State. Their defense is out of this world. So, and then I'm taking Virginia over Furman. I really like Virginia this year. I'm taking Creighton over NC State. Baylor. I'm taking Missouri and Arizona. So
Pretty close. We got one different.
in the round of 32 for the South, I'm taking Alabama over West Virginia. I'm going to take Virginia over San Diego State only because I think Virginia's defense is, if not one, top 5 in the nation right now. And San Diego State, I don't think, has a good enough offense to beat that defense. So, I hate to say it, Bryce, but I'm going to take Baylor over Creighton. Baylor, the teams that they've played this year and the success that they've had against them is really eye-opening to me. And I don't think Creighton has played who they should in order to be where they're at right now. And then I'm going to take Arizona over Missouri. And then in the next round, I'm going to take Alabama over Virginia. As much as I want to take Virginia and their defense, I think Alabama and Brandon Miller are going to score their way out of it. And I'm going to take Arizona over Baylor because I don't think Baylor can match up with the talent that Arizona has. And then I'm going to take Alabama over Arizona going to the Final Four.
I like that. I do like that. A little different, but I like it.
Okay, so as all of you probably know, I do not know nearly as much as any of these guys about college basketball. Still going to beat him.
I almost flipped you off.
So
I almost flipped you off.
a good bit of these picks are going to be similar, but I got some change-ups in here. So I still got Bama winning. I just don't see how they don't. I think Maryland-West Virginia is going to be a really good game. I'm going to switch it up, though. I'm going to go with Maryland because I despise West Virginia. San Diego State, Charleston, I'm going to stick with the pack on that one. I think San Diego State's probably just the better team. Taking Virginia over Furman, as both of them have said. Well, I know Bryce thinks Virginia's a bit fraudulent, but I just think the ACC tends to produce really good basketball teams. And then for my first major switch-up, of the tournament so far, I am going to take NC State over Creighton.
You're ridiculous.
I'm going to do it. I like to entertain. I like to entertain the upset. I like to entertain the upset, and ACC teams are good at basketball. I'm going to take. I'm going to take Baylor over UCSB.
Picking when your team's not in it.
Bryce, I think you took Utah State over Missouri as well. I'm going to take Utah State, and then Arizona Princeton. Arizona's just a better team. So moving on to the next round, I am taking Bama over Maryland. I am also going to take Virginia over San Diego State, like Landon. Baylor will beat NC State, and then, again, same with Bryce. I think that Utah State's upset over Missouri is the highlight of the bracket, and Arizona finishes them off. Moving on, I'm taking Bama over Virginia. Just, Bama's been playing like crazy this year. And they got a lot to play for because you don't typically see them in a spot like this. And then I'm taking Arizona over Baylor in the next round. And then to go to the Final Four, I am going to take the upset, and I am taking Arizona over Alabama.
I see that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a dogfight of a game, but it's going to be really good, and I'm going to take Arizona. So
I don't believe Arizona and Bama have played either this year. So
no, I don't think so either. So.
Interesting.
All right, little bro, let's see.
Wow, thanks. Just like everybody else, Alabama's definitely going to win in the first round. Come on. Even though, again, March Madness is crazy, but, come on. This one.
It ain't that crazy.
It ain't that crazy. When it comes to this, it ain't that crazy. But even though I am a Pitt fan, I'm going to have to go with West Virginia over Maryland. I just can't.
It's
interesting, but I just think West Virginia will come out with the win on this one. And by the way, before I forget, because I know when we get to Pitt later, when they're down there, I'm going to forget. Federico is out tonight against Mississippi State. That is not good for Pitt.
I'll make a difference. Blake Hinton is him.
Yes, him. But that is
ACC, of course.
That's still
outside of the ACC. He's she.
That's still. That is still a big loss for Pitt, but
Mike, before you get going, I do want to remind our viewers that there was a game played in November. I believe it was Pitt versus Michigan. You remember how much who the winner was and by how much?
Yeah, shut up, Bryce.
Do you happen to remember?
Shut up, Bryce.
I think we won by like 27.
Hey, there was a game between North Carolina and Michigan.
Yeah, I think I remember that one too.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
I do. Yeah. Because I think we lost by like 4.
Right.
At the time, we thought North Carolina was going to make it to the bracket. You know, as the number 1 seed, you expect that.
Right.
So it kind of made sense.
Yeah, you do have a point there.
We still lost, but you know what?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Me and Landon will just sit here quietly.
Yeah.
All right, next I got San Diego State winning, and then Virginia, obviously, over Furham, and then Creighton over NC State. I think you are an idiot.
He's 0-2. I don't know what he's talking
about. Big bro. I think he's in your head.
All right, Baylor, Utah State, Arizona. I still get this over with.
Am I the only one taking Missouri?
You are.
Yeah.
You are indeed.
He's going to remember that. He's going to remember that.
Okay.
When it comes back.
All right.
Utah State loses by 24.
Yeah. All right. So for the round of 32, Alabama is going to beat West Virginia because, again, like Alex said, Alabama's just doing very well this year. I think San Diego State's going to beat Virginia because I don't think they're an elite team. So, and I agree with Bryce about Virginia. Well, because I saw Pitt beat Virginia, but you know.
I watched Michigan lose to Virginia, so I can't say the same thing.
Yeah, there we go.
UNC did it twice.
Yeah, we did it twice.
I actually have Creighton beating Baylor.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna be real honest here. I didn't really pay attention to Creighton until Bryce told me about Creighton. Then I did a little research about Creighton, and I was like, okay, maybe.
They're going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah.
Count how many times Mike said Creighton in a sentence.
That stop was probably harder than the one I gave you yesterday that I cut out.
That was, yeah.
So you didn't see it, but during the press conference, I slapped Alex.
It was the most baby tap of all. It was like...
Oh, but trust me, he knows this. I can hit hard. I just didn't do it that time.
My left pec still remembers, I promise.
Yeah. All right, where was I? Oh, yeah, okay.
You're in your Elite 8, I believe.
No, round. He just wants me to get over.
Oh, Sweet 16, my
Yes.
fault. Look at it. I was trying to follow on my bracket. But
yeah. But, Arizona over Utah State, and then to the Sweet 16, Alabama will beat San Diego State. Though I was considering having San Diego State beat Alabama, but then I kind of chickened out at the last second. I was like, I just can't see that.
You little broed out.
A little broed out. Yeah. A little broed out. And then Bryce, I unfortunately have Arizona beating Creighton in the Sweet 16.
That just helps me. But if they lose, then that hurts.
And then in the Elite 8, obviously Alabama, Arizona, and I'm going to have Arizona beat Alabama to head to the Final Four.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm okay with that.
Now we're to the East.
Hey, wait, we gotta do what we did. Hey, no, wait, we gotta do what we did yesterday. You like on my hand now? You like on my hand now?
This is where my bracket probably goes to crap. Because I think there's a bunch of frauds and dogs in the East.
Yeah.
Purdue, in my opinion, they're going to be tough. But I also think they're frauds. You take the 7'6" guy out of there, they're not much. But I'll just roll through it. Purdue wins first round. There is no 1-16 upsets this year. Sorry. Memphis FAU. Memphis just beat. I think this went unnoticed whenever in seeding. Memphis just beat Houston and they pulled an 8 seed. And Houston's number 1 overall.
They beat them by like 10.
Yeah. And earlier in the year they only lost to them by a buzzer beater.
And it was never really like
talked about.
Well, it wasn't even really like close throughout the whole game. Like Memphis thoroughly dominated that game.
Yeah, you'll want to remember that with Memphis here. They're tough. And then I was high on Oral Roberts, actually. I thought they were going to be tough again this year, but unfortunately I think Duke got too hot at the right time.
Yeah,
so I don't have... If Oral Roberts pulled another 5 seed, I'm picking them, but in this one, I just think Duke's playing too hot. I got the Volunteers over whoever they play.
Raging Cajuns.
Yeah. Providence, Kentucky is going to be one of the most underrated games because, little backstory, a guy from, he went committed to Kentucky, played for a year, transferred to Providence. What's his name? Bryce Perkins?
I think so.
Something like that. It's a legacy game for him. Providence upsets Kentucky. Kansas State, Montana State. Give me Kansas State. Everybody thinks they're frauds this year, but I think they're dogs. Michigan State, USC. Being a Michigan fan, it pains me to pick Michigan State, but if A.J. Hogard and Joey Hauser shoot the ball like they know how to, and Tyson Walker, they're going to be a tough beat.
Kansas State won the Big 12, didn't they? Did they?
No. Arizona did.
Yeah.
Did they?
I think so.
Well, Arizona's the Pac-12, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Oh, no, did Iowa State win the Big 12?
No. Kansas State beat them.
Yeah, I don't know who won.
Okay.
But
Kansas State's a 3 seed. I figured they probably won the Big 12. I don't know.
Marquette, Vermont, don't matter. Marquette.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting in my bracket. In this one, just to make it a little different, I see a road where Memphis upsets Purdue in the round of 32.
I was thinking about it.
Because, I'm going to be real, Big Ten does not play real tough outside of a couple schools in the tournament. And unfortunately, I think Memphis is a lot tougher than Purdue. Zach Edey might drop a 40-piece, but it doesn't matter if they go down and hit a 3 right in their face. It doesn't matter. So I got Memphis beating Purdue there. Then Duke, Tennessee. This one I went back and forth on, and I still am currently, if I think Duke's going to cool down or if Tennessee is going to get rolling. But they had an injury. Ziegler, I believe his name is. He got hurt, so I had to roll with Duke there. And then this is where it's even more interesting. Providence Friars over Kansas State.
Oh, wow.
Beat me the wagon.
Wow.
Michigan State, Marquette. I think Marquette's better than Michigan State, so I'm taking Marquette. So that leaves me in my Sweet 16, Memphis and Duke, who is an 8 and 5 seed. Memphis over Duke. Providence, Marquette. This is
Memphis running it.
This is where Providence, unfortunately, their Cinderella story ends as well. Marquette beats them. And then I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think the East for Marquette, I think they pulled the best draw. They have a pretty easy route through. So I have Marquette beating Memphis in the Elite 8 going on to the Final Four to play Creighton. I don't know if Marquette's that good, but I do think that they pulled a pretty easy draw on the bottom side of the East.
All right. So mine is going to look kind of similar in the round of 64, but I'm going to shake it up in the other rounds. So I'm obviously going to take Purdue, and I'm going to take Memphis, Duke, Tennessee. And then a little backstory. If you know, like, the National Player of the Year last year, his name's Oscar Tshiebwe. I played against him in high school. So I'm going to roll
about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll with Kentucky here over Providence. I think that the SEC, like, with Kentucky playing in there, is just better than whoever Providence is playing. So I'm going to take Kentucky over Providence there. I'm going to take Kansas State. I have no idea in the world how Michigan State pulled a 7 seed. I don't like it. I don't like Michigan State. Tom Izzo's cool. It's his month, but I don't like it. I'm taking USC over Michigan State.
Everybody says that, but Izzo hasn't won anything in so many years.
That is true.
It's Izzo's month, but he loses in like the round of 32.
And then I'm going to take Marquette over Vermont. And then in the round of 32, I'm going to take Memphis over Purdue. I hate Purdue this year. They are one of my biggest frauds in the entire tournament. And there's one kid on there, his name's Ethan Morton. He's from Butler, and I'm like 95% sure I played against him in AAU. Not sure, probably not. But, I mean, it's cool to have someone around the area be on that big of a team. But the losses that they took this year, I do not believe in them. So I'm going to take Memphis over Purdue. I'm taking Duke over Tennessee. Kyle Filipowski, the 7-foot freshman for Duke, is playing out of his mind right now. And they're getting hot at the right moment. And they cruised through the ACC tournament. And I just don't see them slowing down at any time soon.
Pitt put up a good fight against them.
They did. But, sorry about that. And I honestly think that Kentucky is going to shine right now.
I teetered with that too.
And I am going to take Kentucky over Kansas State.
Oof.
And then I'm going to take Marquette over USC. So then I'm going to take Duke over Memphis. And then I am actually going to take Kentucky over Marquette.
Ooh.
Marquette, yes, they play a few good teams here and there, but Oscar Tshiebwe is the best rebounder in the country right now, and he single-handedly controls the boards for them, and I don't think the bigs for Marquette are going to be able to keep up. So I'm going to take Kentucky there, and then I'm actually going to take Duke over Kentucky. I think as a team, they're coming together very well at the right time again. And I just don't think Kentucky's guards are going to be able to keep up with Jeremy Roach especially. So I'm going to take Duke into the Final Four.
Wow. You know, I saw that. I see it. When everybody else says it, I see it. But whenever I look at it, I don't.
All right.
To get to me, because I got some stuff about Duke.
Oh, boy. All right, starting. I agree with Bryce. There is no 16-1 upsets this year. So Purdue wins in the round of 64. Have an FAU fan friend. He goes to FAU. Sorry, man. Memphis is nice this year. They're taking the win. Oral Roberts, sorry, you're playing Duke, not Ohio State. You're not winning. Taking Tennessee over the Raging Cajuns. I'm going to be taking Kentucky over Providence. Kansas State over Montana State, and forgot that Montana State's even a school. Michigan State, USC. I'm going to roll with, I believe Landon said as well, I'm going to take USC. Marquette over Vermont, obviously. And then moving to the next round, I bounced between this one for a little bit, but I think Memphis is going to beat Purdue because, again, they played a really dominating game against Houston in whatever their conference is in the conference championship. Taking Duke over Tennessee. Next round, Battle of the Wildcats. This might be a little bit crazy, but I'm taking Kansas State over Kentucky. And I know a lot of people are high on Marquette, but I'm a football fan over a basketball fan, and I'm a big believer in conference relevancy, so I'm going to take USC. And then moving on to the next round, I am taking Duke over Memphis, and I am taking Kansas State over USC. And then to go to the Final Four, I am actually going to take Kansas State over Duke. So, interesting picks. I really did. I bounced back and forth between Purdue and Memphis a couple times.
I like how we're all different. Like, that's what I said. If the East isn't the toughest, it's definitely one or two.
It's up there.
All right, is it Little Bro's turn now?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
I suppose you're allowed to talk.
Let's hear it.
All right, so yeah, Purdue.
Allow it.
Purdue, I do have them obviously winning, and then Memphis as well, so I guess we can all agree on that with that.
That might be the first pick we've all agreed on, besides like a 2 and a 15.
And then of course, Duke, I got them over Oral Roberts, because, again, Duke has gotten hot at the right time, like they said, and they just looked unstoppable against Pitt, and they looked great in the ACC tournament, so Duke there. Now, obviously, I should be going Tennessee over Louisiana. So I'm not gonna say This is my upset. I'm gonna go the Raging Cajuns over Tennessee. I am bold, and I am going with the Raging frickin' Cajuns.
I do want you to know, I just saw a stat last night on ESPN that there hasn't been a 13 seed that's made it past the round of 32 in like 25 years.
It's going to be the first one this year, the Raging Cajuns over Tennessee.
I'm sorry, little bro, I don't see it.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then I have Kentucky over Providence, Kansas State over Montana State, and this one was tough, Michigan State and USC, but at the end of it, I had to go Michigan State. I don't know. I just don't like USC. I don't think they're going to get past the first round, really. So I'm going Michigan State and then Marquette over Vermont. All right, round of 32. I got Purdue over Memphis, I think. I think Purdue can make it to the Sweet 16. I'm sorry.
At max.
At max. Exactly.
Again, I bounced on that one for a while.
I did too.
Now, I know I just put over the Raging Cajuns a lot there, but they are going to lose to Duke. Because, again, Duke got hot at the right time, and, this puts me in a tough spot. I really don't have to explain my picks, because whatever teams you guys like, unless it's, like, obviously different, then I have to explain my reasoning. But it's like, if I pick the same picks as you, some of the same teams as you guys, I don't have to, like, really explain it. Yeah. Kentucky and Kansas State. I'm going to go with Kansas State on this one. I don't think Kentucky is good enough to make it to the Sweet 16 this year. And then I have Marquette over Michigan State. All right. Sweet 16. And this is why I said about Duke when Landon said Final Four, because guess what? Spoiler alert. I got them in my Final Four. So I got Duke over Purdue. I have Marquette over Kansas State.
Ooh.
And then, like I just told you, as I just spoiled it, I have Duke going to the Final Four, beating Marquette. So that is my East. So
a 4 out of the East? 5, actually.
Yeah, 5.
All right. I can see it.
On what, the Midwest now?
Yeah, Midwest. Like I just said, I think the East is the toughest. If they're not, they're second. My opinion, the Midwest is going to be very interesting to see what happens. So, first one, I don't even know what to say. But I'm kidding.
Dude, I would have.
The Norse! The NKU Norse!
There ain't a chance in the world. Give me Houston. But then Auburn, Iowa gets interesting. I don't know if you guys saw what Iowa's done this year. They've been down by like 14 with a minute left and come back and won almost twice. One time being against my Michigan Wolverines. We don't have to talk about it.
We don't got to talk about that.
No, we can talk about it. They came back and won. But their offensive production is insane, and their defensive production is atrocious. They're like bottom. They're out of the top 100 in defensive efficiency, but top 5 in offensive efficiency. So, but I have Auburn winning that game. I don't know why. Just felt right. And then again, I don't have a 12-5 upset here. Drake's not beating the U. You saw the U last year. They went on a run with Isaiah Wong, I believe his name is.
Yeah, he's still there.
He's still there.
They had a crazy
ACC Player of the Year.
Didn't they have a crazy comeback at some point?
Yeah.
Didn't they have like a 19-point comeback or something like that? They can score.
I don't have Miami going in my bracket, but they are tough. So I'm gonna just roll Indiana, Kent State, we're like an hour and a half from Kent State, would you say? I think Trace Jackson Davis, as much as this pains me to say, and Jalen Hood-Schifino are a top duo in the league. I don't see a way that Indiana doesn't beat Kent State by 30. This is where it gets interesting for me. If you guys watched previous episodes, we made bold predictions about 3 months ago. My bold prediction back then was Pitt was going to make it to the Sweet 16. So they're going to win their play-in game against Mississippi State. And then they're going to come out and beat Iowa State. And then Xavier, Keenshaw State. Don't matter. Xavier. This is the toughest pick for me. This one right here.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, Penn State. Not a Penn State fan by any means, but they're hot right now. Andrew Funk is crazy. Jalen Pickett drops like a 40-piece in one game. I don't know. But, give me Texas A&M. Then give me Texas after that. That puts me with Houston against Auburn. Once again, I think Houston's going to run the table for a little bit. Then, I actually am changing a pick right now. I have Miami beating Indiana, but I'm going to change that to Indiana.
Ooh.
The more I think about Indiana this year, I just think they might have had some bad losses, but it's their last run with all their seniors. I feel like they're going to give it a run. So I'm taking Indiana over Miami. And then sadly, Mike, I said I thought they were going to the Sweet 16. Once I thought about it, it's not happening. They're losing to Xavier.
We'll see.
Then I have the Battle of Texas. A&M versus Texas. Give me A&M.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Okay.
To my Sweet 16, I got Houston and Indiana. As much as I wanted to pick Indiana here, their offense is tough, but Houston's defense is, once again, crazy. So give me Houston over Indiana, and then give me Xavier over Texas A&M, and then I have Houston winning the Midwest. Although, yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with it. Houston's gonna win it. Yeah. Give me Houston.
All right. This one was really tough for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm obviously taking Houston.
March Madness is tough.
It is.
March Madness is tough.
And I'm gonna go Iowa over Auburn. I don't know. I think Iowa is just like just a March Madness kind of school, March Madness kind of program.
Valid.
And I'm taking Miami over Drake. I'm taking Indiana over Kent State by a mile. All right, and this is where it gets tough for me. If Mississippi State wins tonight, I'm taking Iowa State. If Pitt wins tonight, I'm taking Pitt.
Yeah.
Pitt's big man.
Federico.
Yeah.
Yes, he's out.
I know he's out, but
Would he be back for Iowa State though?
Maybe.
and isn't it Burton is his name?
Yeah, I can't remember his first name.
I really like
Tyler
Burton.
Burton,
Yeah, I really like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched Iowa State play this year. The two games that I watched, one they were really good, and then the other, their offense just wasn't there. And I think if they get into a shootout with Pitt, if Pitt wins, I don't think they'll be able to keep up with Pitt's three-point shooting. So if Pitt wins, I don't know which one to pick, Pitt or Mississippi State. I have no idea. So I'm just going to go based off. No. I'm just going to go based off of who wins tonight. So you heard my picks before. And then I'm going Xavier over Kennesaw State. I am a Penn State football fan. I'm a North Carolina basketball fan. I have never seen Penn State in this position before in my life.
Both Big Ten football fans that are fans of UNC in basketball.
So they have zero experience here. The coaching staff has, I think, no experience here. So I'm taking Texas A&M. And then I'm going Texas, obviously. And then I'm going to go Houston by a mile. And then I'm going to take Indiana over Miami. And the only reason is because what they did against Purdue this year just absolutely mind blows me. Because their coaching staff against Zach Edey, where they put a kind of undersized big man against Edey, make him run the floor in transition and beat out Zach Edey for how slow he is one of the best coaching things that I've seen this year. So I think Indiana and their coaching staff and their experience in March Madness and throughout the Big Ten is going to be really well. So I'm going to take Indiana over Miami. If Mississippi State wins, Iowa State would advance, and if Iowa State would advance, I will be taking them over Xavier. But if Pitt wins, I will be taking Xavier over Pitt. And then I'm gonna take Texas over Texas A&M. I think Texas has it this year. I think they're doing really well this year. And then I'm gonna take Houston over Indiana, and then Texas over whoever wins. And then I'm going to take Texas into my Final Four.
Texas is going to be tough this year, like you said. You're making me think about changing my pick.
Texas is tough. They're a great team.
I actually changed the pick on mine. I'll tell you about it when we get to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Again, no 116 upsets. Houston over Northern Kentucky. I'm on the same boat as Bryce. I'm going to take Auburn over Iowa. I'm going to be taking Miami over Drake. Indiana over Kent State. I am taking, assuming that Pitt wins tonight against Mississippi State in the play-in, they will beat Iowa State. So we're just going to roll with that. And then next, I'm taking Xavier over Kennesaw State. I'm going to take A&M over Penn State. Like Landon said, you haven't been in this position in a while, so you got to go with the team that's experienced, and that's about it. And then Texas Colgate again. I can't believe I could say this twice in two conferences. Sorry, Colgate, you're not playing Ohio State. I'm taking Texas. It's really sad that I was able to say that twice. All right, Houston over Auburn. I am going to take Miami over Indiana because a team that could come back down 19 like Miami did, I can't doubt that scoring ability, so I'm going to take Miami. I'm going to be a biased Pitt fan, and I'm going to take Pitt over Xavier. And then I am going to take Texas over A&M in the battle for Texas. Then moving on to the next round, I'm going to be... One second, I lost my spot. There we go. Okay, I'm taking Houston over Auburn. Or wait, did I say that already? Yeah, I went through that one. All right, okay. So next round, I'm taking Houston over Miami. Sorry, fellow Pitt fans, the road ends here. I'm taking Texas over Pitt. And then to go to my Final Four, I am taking Houston... I'm taking Houston over Texas. Sorry. Confused me for a second. I am taking Houston over Texas, taking the 1 seed. So that is my Midwest prediction.
Okay, Pitt is winning the national championship.
I love how you can sit there and laugh about it.
That's really funny, Mikey.
Yeah, heck no.
It's a great joke.
You should cut that out.
Just no.
Yeah, make sure you cut that out.
We don't want to
lose viewers.
How about this? How about I just put a screen right here covering Landon and Bryce, and then just mute whenever they start talking. Mental note. All right.
Have fun figuring that out.
I think he has a chance beating us.
I'll figure it out. Okay. So yeah,
hello, bro.
Houston.
Can you pick a sauce?
Oh really? You want to go there? You want to go there, pal?
Give me. All right. Just tell us your losing bracket.
Yeah, you're already losing.
All right, Houston. God, I almost swore again. All right, yeah, Houston obviously will beat Northern Kentucky, and then I got Auburn over Iowa. Now, Miami's, how do you pronounce it? Norchard Omer? Is that how you pronounce it?
I believe so.
He's out for the first round, so that is why I'm going Drake over Miami.
You know, I'm not saying anything because it could happen, but I want to laugh in your face so bad right now.
I'm going to go Drake over Miami because of that reason.
That's the pick that loses him the bracket challenge right there.
Probably.
All of them.
All of them. Miami goes on to win it all. Something like that.
God, then I'm screwed.
Just shatters all of our brackets.
Can I go?
Sorry. We'll talk after you're done.
All right, so, and then I obviously got Indiana over Kent State, and then I'm not even going to say what they said. Pitt is going to beat Mississippi State, and then they're going to beat Iowa State.
I said they were going to win tonight, Mike.
Oh, yeah, you did, I guess, yeah.
I said they were.
We all picked Pitt over Iowa
Yeah,
State.
but, like, you were like...
Yeah, I'm changing. Give me Iowa State.
All right, and then I got obviously Xavier over Kennesaw State, and then Texas A&M over Penn State. That one was easy, and then Texas over Colgate.
Toothpaste
I think
brand.
I think Texas is right. I think Texas is an elite team. They're an elite offense, and they will definitely get it done in that game. Wait, what you guys on? You want to say that out loud?
Oh, no, you're good.
All right. You want to say that out loud? Now I'm gonna.
No, you're good, man.
Hey, those little bro glasses are sliding down a little bit.
Might want to perk those up a little bit.
Perk them up.
God, I invite these two to my show.
Your show.
Whose show?
First of all, who brought you on the show?
My show.
Somebody's getting mad. Calm
I
down.
said, hey, Richie, let's bring Alex with us. Let's bring.
We're gonna. Yeah.
This is like a case of the little bros right now. I stick my hands out so you can't hit me.
There you go.
I know.
We're just gonna do the losing bracket.
All right, Houston over Auburn. Houston's awesome. And then I unfortunately have Indiana beating Drake. I don't think Drake's going to get past the round of 32. And then Pitt will beat Xavier. What are you talking about?
All right, man, just go.
Yeah, so Pitt over Xavier, and then Texas over Texas A&M. Oh, I get what's going on here. Okay. All right, so then I got Houston beating Indiana in the Sweet 16. I'm a fake Pitt fan because I think Texas will beat Pitt in the Sweet 16. Again, Texas is very good. And then going to my Final Four, I have Houston over Texas.
Do you guys all have 1 and 2 going to the final to the Elite 8?
I got 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3.
You have 1, 2 in this division though.
I have 1, 2, 5,
Midwest.
6, 1, 2, 1.
Just in the Midwest.
Yeah, I have 1, 2.
1, 2. So
Yeah,
I'm the
because it's Houston and Texas, right? Yeah.
only- I'm the only one that you guys think Texas is going to represent?
Bro,
The state of Texas is representing, but
I'm taking Houston over Texas, so.
Possibly, yeah.
state of Texas wins in that game. I don't know. Mike, I'm digging your picks a little bit there.
All right, but yeah, I got Houston going to the Final Four. I actually was debating. This is what I was debating. I was thinking about putting Texas in the Final Four, but then I switched it to Houston because I think Houston's just really good this year.
I agree.
I mean, they lost, what, like 2 games in the regular season or something like that?
Yeah.
3 exactly.
Yeah.
But one was
Yeah.
in Memphis in the playoffs or
In the
conference
in
championship.
the American or whatever their conference is. I forget.
Isn't it the AAC?
The American Athletic Conference. Yeah.
All right, so the West.
Does this leave us to our last?
It does.
Yes.
It does.
Oh my goodness.
Man, this is
Here we
very
go.
sad. Howard doesn't beat Kansas. I don't have much to say on that one. Illinois and Arkansas. I am actually kind of high on Illinois. If that's a big if. What's his name? Terrence Shannon, I believe, right?
I think so, yeah.
If that's who it is, if he plays tough, they're going to be. They might upset Kansas. Don't take that out of the picture yet. If they're playing tough in the first game against Arkansas, so give me them. This is my first 12-5 upset.
Ooh.
VCU's tough. I unfortunately have to sit and watch a former player of Michigan play in the tournament while everybody else sits at home. So very interesting. But I think VCU. I think St. Mary's is a little overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, they might have beat Gonzaga once, but when it mattered, Gonzaga, they put the throttle down on them. But I still have VCU winning that one. Then I got UConn beating Iona. Self-explanatory. This was the other 11-6 update I was looking at. Arizona State can shoot the lights out of the gym, but I think TCU's tough this year.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Then I got
I think
Gonzaga
so.
over Grand Canyon.
Is
Pretty
there a head coach?
self-explanatory. Who is?
I think isn't Rick Pitino their head coach?
Who?
TCU?
I believe so, yes.
The old
Yeah.
head coach?
No, you're thinking of Jamie Dixon.
Oh,
Yep,
Jamie
Jamie
Dixon.
Dixon,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Northwestern and Boise State. I'm not sure. Like you said, you weren't sure how Michigan State pulled a 7.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how Northwestern pulled a 7.
I have no idea.
They got beat by one. I know they got beat by Michigan twice, and we're trash this year. They beat Purdue though. Got beat by Penn State. The Big Ten was all a mess, but I think Northwestern's overrated. So I took the 10-7 there in Boise State. And this is a big if there's going to be a 2-5 update, it's going to be UNC Asheville over UCLA because they lost their defensive star, and we don't know exactly how the team's going to play without him the whole game.
That's possible.
So if there is an upset, is a 2-15. I think it's going to be UNC Asheville, but I still have unfortunately UCLA winning that one because I don't think it'll matter. Kansas, Illinois. I'm high on Kansas this year. I think they're tough. They played 20-something quad 1 games.
Yeah.
So they definitely have the experience this year. So Kansas beats Illinois. Unfortunately, VCU, your run-ins here. UConn beats you. Although I think UConn's a little fraudulent, so I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this one. But they will lose against Kansas next round. Gonzaga's really good on offense this year. I actually teetered with them possibly winning it all because the past years they've been number one. Everybody's like, they're the best, they're going to win, they're the best, they're going to win. They're not really talked about much this year. No, nobody's really saying much about Gonzaga.
No, not really.
So I teetered on having them beat TCU and then beat UCLA, but that didn't happen. I think they get upset by TCU because out of nowhere TCU becomes a football school and a basketball school this year.
Apparently.
UCLA beats Boise State. Their run-ins. I have Kansas throttling UConn to solidify what in my opinion is their run for another national championship and go back-to-back. And then this is where it gets interesting. I think this is where UCLA starts to flutter because they don't know what to do without their defensive star. So I took TCU over UCLA. And then I got Kansas TCU to move on to the Final Four and play Houston. I took Kansas because, like I said, I think they're just too tough this year. That's all I got. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I was change picks.
All right. I'm going Kansas, obviously. I really, really like Kansas this year. As much as I hate saying it for them beating my Tar Heels last year, I hate saying it, but I think they're probably going to make another championship run. But I'm taking Kansas, obviously. I'm going Arkansas over Illinois. I like Arkansas's offense, and their defense isn't too shabby, but I think they're going to be a pretty good 3-and-D team this year. And I'm taking it. This is one of the biggest frauds I've seen in the tournament this year, other than maybe Purdue. I don't know how St. Mary's got number 5. But that's outrageous.
Yeah.
They beat Gonzaga once. Gonzaga, honestly, they're not like they were for the past 4 or 5 years. So I have no idea how they got the 5 seed. So I am taking VCU over St. Mary's. I'm taking UConn and then TCU over whoever they play. I'm taking Gonzaga, and then I'm going to take Northwestern over Boise State. I don't know. I see them in the tournament every year. They're always like a 10 or 11 seed, and I never see them in the round of 32. They have the experience with their coaching staff probably, but I just like Northwestern because of who they play and how they did this season. And then I'm going to take UCLA. Even though they're down a star, like their star defensive player, I still like UCLA and their overall team and their team chemistry. So I'm taking UCLA there, and then I'm going to take Kansas by a mile. And then this one I was really stumped on because I don't know about UConn.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I am going to take UConn because of their three-point efficiency. I think it's pretty good. I just don't think VCU has the weapons to settle down and actually win a ball game. So I'm going to take UConn there, and then I'm going to take Gonzaga over TCU. For some reason, Drew Timmy's still there, and you can't forget about that guy.
Is that year 8?
Huh?
Is that year 8 for him?
I think it's like 4 or 5. And
He's
then,
like Braxton Miller, never leaves.
Right. And then I'm going to take UCLA over Northwestern. I don't think Northwestern will be able to contain their offense. So I'm going to take UCLA there again. Kansas by a mile over UConn. And then I'm going to take Gonzaga over UCLA. I think they're the better all-around team. And their coaching staff is brilliant. And they have the experience year in and year out to be an Elite 8 and maybe even a Final Four team. So I'm going to take Gonzaga there, and then I'm going to take Kansas over Gonzaga because the talent, the coaching staff, the experience, everything Kansas has pretty much over every team here. So I'm going to take Kansas going into the Final Four.
Alrighty. Going to start out with a good bit of the same. I'm also taking Kansas over Howard. I'm going to roll with Bryce. I'm taking the Fighting Illini. First of all, weirdest name ever. Second of all, I'm taking them over Arkansas. I'm going to be totally honest here. Again, not a huge college basketball fan, at least not yet. I don't know much about St. Mary's or VCU at all. So I'm going to just switch it up for the sake of switching it up. I'm going to take the higher seed. I'm going to take St. Mary's. UConn over Iona. Again, I don't know anything about Iona, but UConn's usually pretty good at basketball, and it's a 4 and a 13 match. I'm going to take UConn. TCU over whoever wins the play-in between Arizona State and Nevada. Gonzaga over Grand Canyon, the freaking YouTube bad school. I don't know. I have no faith in the Big Ten. Spoiler alert, no one from the Big Ten made it past the round of 32, so I'm taking Boise over Northwestern. And then, hey, Landon, at least one UNC team made it to the brackets.
Time out real quick.
All right, time out. Robert Spillane just agreed to a 2-year deal with the Raiders. So we just got this. So Robert Spillane is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Okay.
So I liked Robert Spillane.
I was going to say the linebacking core just gets weaker now.
You lose Bush, you lose him. Oh, it's going to be...
Yeah, so, all right, continue.
Sorry, Alex.
Okay, anyway, again, spoiler alert, didn't take a single Big Ten team past the round of 32. Boise beats Northwestern. And then, again, like I said, Landon, we got one UNC team in the bracket. This year they're still not going to win. I'm taking UCLA. Next round, I am taking Kansas over Illinois. UConn over St. Mary's because, again, UConn's just usually good at basketball. I'm taking Gonzaga over TCU. And then I am taking UCLA over Boise. And then if my bracket would like to scroll, there we go. I'm going to be taking Kansas over UConn most definitely. And then I'm going to take UCLA over Gonzaga. I think that this is a pretty solid run for UCLA. Maybe a little John Wooden era-esque in some ways, but I think their road comes to a close against Kansas, who will go to the Final Four. So, Mike, go ahead and...
Wow.
Go ahead and lose.
Okay, so I also have Kansas over Howard. Again, nothing much to say
I
about
thought
that.
that was going to be your upset.
No. I actually have Illinois over Arkansas as well. I actually like Illinois a lot, but I actually like Illinois for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like one of those teams I just like Illinois.
Kofi Cockburn.
Yeah.
Gosh, like a tank.
I also think St. Mary's is overrated. They're not good. I think VCU will beat St. Mary's, and as I was looking at that, I looked into the info thing that you could touch on the app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they called, and I agree, VCU could be a Cinderella team. I don't think they can this year, but but at the same time, I actually do agree that they definitely could be a Cinderella team.
They dominated in the A10.
Yeah, so it's definitely possible, but yeah, so I'm gonna go UConn over Iona. TCU will win their game in the first round, and then I got Gonzaga over Grand Canyon, and then I actually have Northwestern over Boise State. Ooh. Yes, and then UCLA over UNC Asheville. All right, round of 32. I got Kansas over Illinois. I know I just said I liked Illinois, but Kansas is Kansas. I wouldn't bet against Kansas to get out of the tournament that early. Then I got UConn over VCU, and then Gonzaga over TCU, and UCLA over Northwestern. I actually like UCLA. I debated if they were going to make it to the Elite Eight, but I actually last second decided Gonzaga over UCLA, and there's a reason why, but I'll get to it here shortly. And then I got Kansas over UConn. So, the thing with Gonzaga, this is why I said this, because I think Gonzaga will make it to the Final Four somehow. Now, Bryce, what was it you told me when I told you Gonzaga was my team to make it to one of the teams to make it to the Final Four?
I told you, they're tough this year. Nobody's talking about them.
Yeah, then when they are talked about, they choke. And thinking back about it, Bryce is right. They really do.
Sorry, Mike, I wasn't paying attention. My team has to play in the most important
It's
tournament.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Gets to play Toledo.
But yeah, I have Gonzaga making it to the Final Four. So, all right, Bryce.
Oh.
You still got your
I'll be right back to watch my team lose to Toledo. In my opinion, my Final Four reads Creighton and Marquette play each other, and then Houston and Kansas. In my opinion, this is Kansas' tournament to lose. I think they're just way too tough this year.
That's fair.
So, unfortunately, I think Shaka Smart's a better coach than whoever Creighton's coach is. So, unfortunately, Creighton loses. I know I stuttered on my words. I was gonna take, because this is the part where when we were sitting in here when we first got here, I was going back and forth between Creighton and Marquette. I didn't know what to do, but I ended up taking Shaka Smart and Marquette to the national championship, and then Houston, Kansas. I just think Kansas has way more quad one games and experience this year that they know how to play as a team. Jalen Wilson, I think his name is. Does that sound right? From Kansas. I think that's their point guard. Not their point guard, but their star. He's tough.
That's Grady Dick.
Yeah, Grady Dick's tough too. But I have Kansas going to the national championship to play
I
Marquette.
really love that Dick guy.
Yeah, Sam.
Me too.
And
It's not a swear word.
unfortunately,
It's not.
I'm sure this might be another pick amongst you guys. I have Kansas winning it all and 2 beating by a final score of 64-61. I just think they're too good. This is their tournament to lose. And
he's
while you
picking
guys
the score and everything.
and what'd you say?
He's picking the score and everything.
It's just on the thing. Sorry, that's what my tiebreaker is. And now I'll be watching my team lose to Toledo.
All right. I kind of shook up my Final Four.
And we're already down 4-0.
I have Alabama and Duke in the Final Four playing each other. I am going to take Duke.
Ooh.
Coming from a North Carolina fan, I do not like Duke. But I think that Alabama, somebody's got to beat them. And with the bigs that Duke have and the talent that they have in the guard position is just outstanding. I don't think Brandon Miller as a freshman will be able to carry this team through such an important tournament and all these tough games. So I'm going to take... that is true. So I'm going to take Duke going into the championship, and then Kansas and Texas. I'm taking Kansas. Kansas is a powerhouse this year again. And I just don't think that Texas really has what it takes to beat Kansas. And then I'm going to take Kansas going back to back. First, they beat UNC last year. This year, I think they're going to beat Duke by a total score of 72-67.
You got Kansas.
It says 69 on here, but I'm saying 67. But I am taking Kansas going back to back this year. So, runaway Jayhawks.
Interesting. All right, so my 2 Final Four matchups are number 2 Arizona versus number 3 Kansas State, and the 2 1 seeds Houston and Kansas. First matchup, Arizona and Kansas State. I think Arizona's nice. They can score. They can play good basketball, so I'm going to go with them over Kansas State. And then Houston, Kansas. This is a pretty marquee matchup, honestly, in my opinion. These are 2 very, very talented teams. But I'm gonna keep rolling with the wave. I think this is another great year for Kansas, so I'm gonna take them over Houston. And then again, speaking of marquee matchups, I think this is one heck of a national championship if this is the way the cards fall. Both of these teams can score. I mean, Kansas put up almost 90 on Baylor at one point this year. They play really well and they can both score. So I am gonna say Rock Chalk Jayhawks, and I'm gonna take them over Arizona 75-70 in the Natty.
Mike, do you have Kansas winning it all?
No.
That's
okay. That's gonna win it.
That's why you're low.
Little brother.
In my... I'm considering changing it now. No, I'm kidding. In my Final Four, I have Arizona, Duke, Houston, and Gonzaga. Now for Arizona and Duke, I also I do like Duke, but I think this is where their run ends, and I believe Arizona will beat Duke in the Final Four. And then Houston and Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga I think this is their year, honestly. I think I'm going to go with Gonzaga over Houston, and then I'm going to go with Gonzaga over Arizona in the national championship, 78-64.
Ooh, 14 points.
And
I really don't mind the picks, though.
No,
I'm not going to lie.
Nobody made a pick that really made me go, okay, hold on a second.
Well, he thinks I'm an idiot for saying that NC State's going to beat Creighton, but...
I don't think it'll make that much.
That was okay. I'm
But
gonna be real. That was for on camera, but like my actual thought on that is that's not a bad pick.
This Kansas team though, like this tournament, this Kansas team kind of reminds me of I think it was 2015 with Zion Williamson and RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Whenever they should have ran the table and got upset by I think it was Michigan State, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So I mean I think it's their tournament to lose. Unfortunately, 3 of us on this couch picked Kansas. So, we could have a tie.
We could all look really stupid after this video comes out.
Yeah.
We could all look really, really stupid after this.
Or, we could be in a 3-way tie, and
Imagine.
Imagine if we 3-way tie and he's like bottomed
Time
out.
out. If that happens, we need to have you both back on the show for that, and you come up here
Facts.
when we if that happens. But
I mean, I'm in like 7 different brackets right now, so half these picks I made here aren't the same as on the other ones.
I'm
like $70 in right now.
Oh my god.
But Alex,
my pot's like a grain.
You and I can agree these two chances are they're gonna beat us.
Oh yeah.
Alex kind of, for the most part,
I like Alex's picks. Yeah, I like Alex.
Literally anything could happen.
Alex was with us, and even you, like, Gonzaga's going to be tough this year. I mean, I don't know.
And I'm not gonna
go
say
anyway.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm the biggest college basketball fan. But like I do know some stuff. But
during the months of January and March,
Yeah.
live, breathe, and just love.
Yeah. Like that's kind of, and plus also with the way Pitt's played over the last 7 years, sometimes do you blame me?
I mean, in all honesty, though, we don't have any bias in our choices for the most part.
That's true.
Yeah, the Pitt bias is the only bias I have, and I still have them losing in the Sweet 16. So
Yeah,
I called them when you remember on the podcast. I said my bold prediction: Pitt makes it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
We all made some bold predictions.
I also told Jonah in December. I told him, I said, "You watch Penn State basketball?" And he said, "No, they suck." I said, "They're gonna make the tournament this year."
And there you go.
I go lead.
There was some
Even
bold
though I'll hate to admit it, yeah, Penn State did earn their way into the tournament.
We made some bold predictions on the show back then.
Yeah.
Well, I remember some of them. I think I said Trevor Lawrence would be an MVP finalist or
In
something
4
like
years
that.
or something like that.
In the next 4 years.
And I said Tom Brady was going to go back to New England.
What else? Quinn Ewers is going to be a Heisman finalist next year. I don't think that's going to happen.
And I said the Pirates are going to pay Brian Reynolds.
And I said the Pirates are gonna win 70 games.
Wow.
That ain't happening.
But fellas, this was fun.
This was one of the times.
This was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, and we got to keep promoting it. Before when this airs, which is this Thursday. And hopefully, like for NFL, we can do this. Maybe we add you guys to the rapid fire too.
Right.
If you want to.
If you guys see this,
Or how about this? Oh. Nah, that wouldn't work. It was like a different, like, I was thinking about the rapid fire thing. There was an idea in my head, but then I thought about it, and it doesn't work. But never mind. But no, for real though, with rapid fire, I'm down to have you guys send in more video things and have Landon roast us off camera. By the way, did you? Yeah, but your sister not stopping recording? Like, come on,
I know.
That was rude. That was rude.
She caught me like off guard.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I saw it, and then I don't know, she does that all the time. She like goes like that after she stops recording or whatever.
Yeah.
When I caught her,
That was rude.
I do have something to dig up. You never answered my question.
What?
What's it feel like to be Little Bro?
Oh my god.
I thought about that all day. I was like, he never answered my question.
So
Here we go. This is the interesting part.
this is the answer to my question.
to his question.
Yeah, to the question.
Right. Because you're little, bro.
And this is when we fade to black.
You don't have to answer it. I know it probably sucks being Little Bro.
Yeah, it does. honestly, I might end the show on that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good stopping point.
I just want to say that. What was I gonna say now?
Hey, you know what? No. I'll put it fade to black, but then I'll fade it back in, and then like continue. So we actually have a decent outro.
I think it'll definitely be fun. Don't forget, if our brackets go busted, ESPN Tournament Challenge does a cool thing where you can pick the round of 16, or not the round of 16, the Sweet 16 forward. So if that's the case, we can make a group. Anybody watching this, remember this, if your bracket breaks, we'll make another group promoted out there. Join us.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yes.
But who knows? You might have a solid bracket going into the Sweet 16. I know last year I did not.
Yeah, but yeah. So I got nothing else to add on to about March Madness.
I got nothing either. Just gonna go. Me and Landon are gonna truck home and try not to throw my phone out the window from watching us get beat by a Mac school.
It is very snowy. Let's just say here in Edinburgh.
It's a disaster outside.
It's a disaster.
We have the blinds closed, so we can't even see. It's been snowing since 4 in the morning. It's currently 7 p.m.
You know what? I'll put it on the vlog so then people can see it. So yeah, we're still recording, guys. So Alex, you want to say what you just said?
Yeah, I was just saying it is currently. I don't know if your phone's gonna focus on that. It is currently 7:12 p.m. It has been snowing since 4 in the morning. It has been a solid 15 straight hours.
Yeah.
That it's been snowing.
There is a good probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 inches of snow out there.
Oh
Yeah.
It's bad. It is bad.
We walked in here seeing the sidewalk and we walked out. You couldn't even see it.
You know, I'm curious. How long have we been here?
About
An hour, 6 minutes.
Wow! It does not feel like it's been an hour.
Honestly, I could keep going all day.
I know. It's
But
crazy.
no, we gotta before the sun.
Gotta get home before I'm driving on black ice the whole way.
Yeah. So we're gonna end it there. Oh wait, let's paper toss.
If Landon, here,
shoot.
toss.
Oh, bet.
All right, banana toss. All right, we will see you guys back in the studio.
Appreciate you guys having us on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Before it was good to have you on. But make sure you guys don't start a YouTube channel and then take a click from our channel and just try to get views just for your channel.
Hey, just want you to know.
And then end up getting 15 views.
When I have the perfect bracket, this was gonna go nuclear or viral, if you will.
Oh yeah.
And you guys are gonna have hundreds of thousands of viewers.
Oh, thanks, Bryce.
Yes.
Yeah, man, we got you.
And I'm gonna take 50% of the profits.
That's fine. I think that's
We're
fine.
gonna have another trial vlog.
Another trial vlog. Yeah, Bryce sues us. But no, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun.
Alex, remember?
Oh,
And fade the black.
Good night, America. That's all for us.